Hey guys, it's Jen, and I'm here to wrap up books 26 through 30 that I read in 2017. So I've been doing these wrap-ups in groups of 5 all year, and I'm working on getting caught back up. So you'll probably see a couple wrap-ups within the next couple of weeks. So the 26th book that I read this year and the 27th, so I'm going to include these two together because they are from the same series. Um, it was Bound by Flames and Into the Fire, both by Janine Frost. These are audiobooks that are narrated by Tavia Gilbert, who is an amazing narrator. If you haven't listened to one of her narrations, she does a really good job of it, and you can really tell the difference between the characters when she's narrating them. These are books 3 and 4 in her Night Prince series, which follow Layla and her journey with Vlad the Impaler, who is a character in her Night Huntress series. Essentially, Vlad is Dracula. He is the one that all the books are based off of, that the Dracula book was based off of in this world. These books are just such a guilty pleasure for me. They're paranormal romance. I don't really want to go into a whole lot of detail on these two specifically because it is the third and fourth books, which are the last two books in the series. I just want to let you guys know I did give both of these 5 out of 5. I absolutely love Janine Frost's world and the characters. I love all the characters, and my favorite characters keep showing up in these books from her other series, and I just love it so much. She is actually going to be writing another series that follows another one of her characters, and I absolutely cannot wait for it. I will definitely be reading those ones because they're following Ian, and after reading Into the Fire, which he has quite a large part in, I can't wait to read his story because he's just hilarious. He really, I don't know, he's just an amazing character, and I cannot wait to see how his story will go. But both of those were quite good. It wrapped up the storyline really well, and I was really happy with where Layla and Vlad were left off. But yeah, I can't wait to read more in the Night Huntress world because they're just such good books. And the next two books, because these ones were also in a series, the next two books that I read were The Woman Who Rides Like a Man and Lioness Rampant, both by Tamora Pierce. These are the third and fourth books in the Song of the Lioness series that follows Alana. If you're not familiar with the series, Alana is a girl who wishes to be a knight, and she trades places with her brother, who was supposed to go learn and be a knight, and she goes and learns to be a knight in his stead, and this just tells her story, and I think it's an absolutely wonderful story. I will be getting my kids to read these books when they are old enough because they are just really good, solid fantasy novels. I believe they are middle grade. I think they're middle grade, but they're really good, and I like Alana's story a lot. I gave both of them also 5 out of 5. All of the books in this wrap-up, I gave 5 out of 5. I don't know what it was. I just read a whole bunch of really good books that I really enjoyed right in a row. So it probably helped me get some books read, to be honest. But I really enjoyed it. I'm going to be continuing on with Tamora Pierce's books. I believe there's more in the same world that these ones are based in, so I'm probably going to look for those and read those next. But if you haven't read this series, I would definitely recommend it. It is a really good series which has a very strong female main protagonist. She is a very strong character, and she has her faults and she has issues that come up, but she doesn't give up, and she achieves what she wants. So the final book that I'm going to be wrapping up in this video that I read, so this would be the 30th book that I read in 2017 was Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I finally got around to reading this book. I know a lot of people love it. I gave it 5 out of 5. As I already said, all of the books in this wrap-up are 5 out of 5. I thought it was amazing, and I don't know why I didn't read it sooner, but I am so glad that it was picked for my book club, because I probably wouldn't have gotten around to reading it when I did, except it was a book club read, so I read it. I listened to it because I purchased an audiobook of it forever ago off of Humble Bundle, because if you're not aware, there's like this website called humblebundle.com, and occasionally every week there's like a new book bundle. They usually have 2 going at the same time, and it's essentially you pay what you want to pay to get the bundle. And depending on how much you pay, there's like more added. So if you haven't checked it out, you should check it out, because sometimes there's some really good books. Sometimes there's not. But sometimes there's some really good books. I've gotten a lot of great audiobooks, especially where audiobooks are quite expensive. I've gotten a lot of great audiobooks from it. And every week, I check every week just to see what's up. And usually, like I think a couple of weeks ago, there was like a Brandon Sanderson bundle. So it had like a lot of little novellas. And I think my husband grabbed it because he was like, "You like Brandon Sanderson," so I think he grabbed it for me. But anyways, I grabbed Red Rising from that forever ago, and I finally listened to it, and I loved it. It's a very Romanesque world, like it's a dystopian, and the main character is like a lower class. He's considered what is called a red, and he's on Mars. So it's kind of science fiction-y too. He's on Mars. It's like a science fiction dystopian. And his people live underground. But his wife is killed for disobeying the higher-ups. And he tries to kill himself and essentially ends up going undercover to infiltrate what is called the gold class, which is the hierarchy, and he doesn't realize it at the time, but like he ends up having to go into like this school thing that they do, or like this, it's like a Hunger Games science fiction-y book, where these kids are thrown together and they have to be the strongest. Like they don't have to kill everyone, but they do end up having to kill people. And it's essentially like a huge culling. There's like this huge culling, and it's brutal and graphic, and I really liked it. So I don't know what that says about me, but I really liked it, and I'm going to be continuing on with this series. I need to get the second book, but I'm definitely going to be continuing on this series because I really enjoyed it. And it's like Romanesque features. I know I already said that, but like there's Romanesque features, and I just really like the mythology. So there's like mythology thrown in there with dystopian and science fiction, and it works really well, and I can't wait to continue on. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I gave it 5 out of 5. So yeah, that's my wrap up for books 26 through 30. Let me know down below if you've read any of them and what you thought, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!